Okay, guys. So, welcome to the session. So, in the last session, in the introduction session, we discussed about basics of the computer. What is a computer and how computer can accept the input and how computer can return the input. What is the language or what are the instructions that computer can understand? Which instructions can computer can understand? Only binary, right?
Binary language.
Only binary. So, to create any applications, to create any computer applications, what we need to use? Some programming or some technology, right? That might be C, C++, Java, ABAP, or any technology. But how computer can understand that when we implement that application in that specific technology or programming language? For that, we are using compilers or interpreters to convert programming language statements into binary, right? And there are different generations of programming languages. What are those? First generation. First generation is binary. It contains zeros and ones. Is this a user-friendly programming, or is it a programming? Is it a developer-friendly programming language? No, because it contains only zeros and ones. It is very difficult to create the applications using binary. What is the second generation? Second generations are assembly languages.
Assembly.
Here we use assembler to convert assembly language statements into binary. Yes, if there is no assembler, is that application going to work without assembler? No, assembler is
No, sir.
required to execute or to run the assembly language statements. What is the third generation? C, C++, Java. These are the third generation languages. How these third generation programming statements are going to be converted into binary? Using compiler.
Compiler.
We use compiler to convert, right, into binary. Still, these are not much developer friendly statements like fourth generation or fifth generation, right? But from third generation onwards, we call them high level programming languages. Okay. And fourth generation, we can say Python, ABAP. The current technology, what are we learning? SAP ABAP. It is a
That
fourth generation programming language. Okay. I'm explaining from the basics. Okay. I'm explaining from the basics. Actually, these are not related to ABAP content, but for your understanding, I'm explaining from the basics. Whoever is not having much computer knowledge, they can also understand why we are using SAP ABAP, high level languages. And low level languages are What are the low level languages? First generation, second generation. First generation languages are, what is the first generation? Binary. Second generation, assembly languages.
assembly,
These are low level languages. From third generation onwards,
high level language.
high level languages. For example, C++, Java. Here we use compiler to convert third generation statements into binary. Fourth generation, these are user friendly statements. We use in, in fourth generation programming language, we use statements or syntaxes which are similar to the human language statements we use in fourth generation, right? The statements what we use in our daily life. ABAP is also a fourth generation programming language. That's why we call them ABAP slash 4. You can see this when you are going through any documents. You can see ABAP slash 4. 4 means it's a fourth generation programming language. Okay. Fifth generation. These are even more developer friendly. You don't need to write much code here. Just drag and drop, right? Just like how I am creating these icons, just like this. If you drag and drop, it will automatically generate code in background. Okay. So from each generation, complexity of the programming is reduced or increased. For each generation, complexity reduced or increased.
Reduced, sir.
Reduced. Okay. Complexity
Yes.
is reduced. Features are enhanced. More features are enhanced. Okay. Clear?
Okay, sir. Clear, clear.
Yeah. So in Python, what we use to convert Python statements into binary, we use interpreter.
Interpreter.
Because, so yeah, compiler and interpreter both do similar functionalities, converting into binary, but compiler will convert all the statements at once, right? When you compile it, whoever familiar with C++, once you create the
Yes, sir.
program, save it, you need to click on some compile, right? It will convert the statements and it will execute, right?
It will compile the whole program at a
Ah,
single statement. Yes,
yes.
sir.
When you come to interpreter, it will convert each statement. It won't convert everything at once. Okay? It will convert statement by statement. Okay? That is the difference between compiler and interpreter. Clear?
Clear, clear, sir.
Yeah. This is about basics of the programming. Now come when we talk about ABAP, what is ABAP? Sorry. Yeah, what is ABAP? ABAP is a fourth generation programming language. we use to develop SAP applications. Which applications? SAP
SAP
applications.
application.
What is SAP? SAP is a ERP product. What is SAP? SAP is a
ERP product.
ERP product.
ERP product.
The current version is S4 HANA. SAP S4 HANA is the current version of the advanced version of the ERP product. SAP ERP product. Clear? We'll
Yes,
discuss
sir.
more
Clear.
details about this. Why we are calling it as a product? Are we calling Java as a product? C, C++ as products? No, they
No,
are
sir.
programming languages.
Programming
C, C++,
languages.
Java, these are our programming languages. So what is a product? Product is something which is ready to use in general terms. Talk about general terms. What is a car? Car is some product, end product, which is ready to use, right? All the features are already created, right? And manufacturing is completed. If you buy the car, you can ready to use it, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you buy
Yes,
a
sir.
pen, if you buy a pen, do you need to do anything? You can just buy a pen, start using it, right?
Obviously.
Yes or no? Yes. Mobile phone. Mobile phone is also a product. Buy your mobile phone and start using it, right? We call such kind of items or objects as products, right? If you take SAP, SAP is also a product because all the functionalities which are required to run a business are already created, implemented. When you buy SAP license, implement in
Which
your
is ready to be
business,
used.
you can start using it. Okay? For example, if you
Yes,
take
sir.
Java, Java is not a product, it's a programming language where we need to develop products or applications by using Java from the beginning. Okay? Or there might be some other products which are already developed using Java programming. And you can buy that you can buy that product and start using it, right? Product is something in software point of view, product is something which is already created, implemented, which is ready to use, right? So SAP is also a product which contains predefined functionalities to run any business, any organization business. Okay. For example, if you take uh, recruiting a employee, new employee, what is required for any company? They'll use some application process, interview process. Once the interview is cleared, they need to onboard. For that, employee needs to fill some forms, right? Company needs to release the offer letter. After joining, company needs to run payroll for the employee salary, right? For everything, there is a process, right? Starting from application to paying the salary, there is a process, right? For every process, we need some application. Application nothing but it contains a screen with some data, right? You need to fill the data, and when you click on there, let's assume
Submit.
There is some button, submit or create, some button. When you click on this button, details will be saved, right, in the system or in the database. I'll talk more about the database and application. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This application, if you take SAP, this particular application to create a new employee in the organization is already developed and available. It is ready to use, right? Similarly, if you take any other programming language or any other applications, if you take Java, you need to create it from beginning. You need to create the application, you need to create the button, you need to write the functionality, you need to do all the validations, right? From the
Yes,
beginning.
sir.
But when you buy the product, all these functionalities are readily available. So let's
Previously
assume,
implemented.
yeah, let's assume this is the standard application which is provided by SAP to create an employee. Now, for my business, for my business, I need some extra fields because not every business is same. Most of the functionalities are same, but that is not 100% same, right? When you compare two different organizations. So in my business, I need some additional fields here so that I can add additional fields along with the standard. What do we call this? We call this as enhancement, enhancing the additional functionalities along with the standard. Am I disturbing any standard thing here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I've added this, but I'm not disturbing any standard functionality provided by SAP. This is called enhancement.
Uh,
Let's say I don't have this application in SAP. SAP did not provide this application to create the employee. Now what I need to do? That functionality is not available. What I need to do? I need to create my own application from the beginning. What do we call that? Custom application. What do we call that?
Custom
Custom
application.
application. How can we create custom applications or enhance standard applications in SAP? For that we use SAP ABAP. By using SAP ABAP, we can enhance the standard applications or create our own custom
Create.
applications in SAP. Okay. So what is SAP? SAP is a ERP product. What is SAP ABAP? SAP ABAP is a programming language which we use in SAP to enhance the standard applications or to create the custom applications. Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Clear.
sir.
So what is ERP? ERP is Enterprise
Enterprise
Resource
resources
Planning.
planning.
There are many ERP softwares available in the market. There are many ERP products available in the market. SAP is,
Let's provide some examples regarding ERP, sir.
we have Oracle applications, right? That is one of the ERP.
Okay.
We have Microsoft Dynamics, that is Microsoft company's ERP, right?
But which
Yes.
is applicable only for that particular Microsoft company, all right?
No, no. Any business can use those ERP softwares. But out of those all ERP softwares, SAP is most successful ERP product, right?
Okay, okay,
SAP
sir.
is the most successful ERP product. If you take laptops, many companies used to sell laptops, right?
Yes, sir.
But there are only few famous companies or proved companies which we want to buy, correct? So SAP is one of the successful ERP product. Clear?
So can you explain one more?
Okay, what is SAP? SAP is a ERP product, right?
Yes, sir.
Which helps to run the organization business with better integration, correct? Between different departments or different functionalities. Similar to SAP, we have lot of other SAP products, sorry, lot of other ERP products available in market, right? Every company designed their own ERP. For example, Microsoft designed Microsoft Dynamics, right?
Microsoft Dynamics.
Oracle designed Oracle apps. Similarly, SAP designed, SAP itself is a company and they designed SAP ERP. Okay, company and product name both are same. Don't confuse. Okay, SAP is a German company which developed SAP ERP product, right? Out of these
Yes,
all
sir.
different ERP products, which is most successful ERP product? SAP. Most of the organizations, most of the large organizations throughout the world using SAP as their ERP software. Okay, 60% of the companies are using SAP as their ERP. Remaining 40% companies are sharing the other products like Microsoft Dynamics or Oracle apps. They are using other ERP products designed by different companies. Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear.
If you go to any large organization, you can find SAP ERP. They use SAP ERP in their business. Okay, starting from
Okay, sir.
sales,
Clear.
finance, purchasing, human resources. Take any process, there will be ERP product, SAP ERP product they are going to use in any large organization. Even medium organizations also use a ERP product, SAP ERP product. Okay. If you name any top companies, can you tell me some top companies in the world or in India? Can you guys name some companies, famous companies, or any companies? What do you know? What do
Tata.
you know?
Amazon.
So, sorry.
Amazon.
Micro,
Amazon.
yeah, even Microsoft is using ERP, Amazon is using ERP,
Mhm. Yeah.
Apple is using SAP ERP, right? Reliance is using
Yes,
SAP
sir.
ERP, Tata Group, different companies in Tata Group, including
Yes.
TCS,
So many.
Tata Motors, everyone is using ERP, SAP ERP, Reliance is using SAP ERP, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Most of the companies needs to use SAP ERP because it is most proven and most successful ERP product. Okay,
Okay, clear, sir.
even though they have Microsoft developed their own ERP, right? Microsoft Dynamics, still they use SAP as their ERP in their business process, right? Because of the predefined functionalities are the integration and the advanced features that SAP provides, because that is the reason why most of the famous companies or most of the large organizations choose SAP as their ERP product. Okay, so that's why we have more opportunities on SAP and SAP related modules in the market after Java and UI. Okay, currently we are learning what is the technology we are trying to learn, SAP ABAP. So
SAP ABAP.
whatever the company that is using SAP ERP, they should have developers on SAP ABAP to enhance their business applications and to create custom applications in SAP, right? You might ask me, You are saying that SAP contains all predefined applications with standard functionalities. Then what is the role of ABAP? Because the applications are already created and implemented, it is ready to use. Then what is the role of ABAP here? What is the role of ABAP consultant here? As I said in the previous class, SAP has provided standard functionalities common to the most business process, right? But business processes are not 100% same for every company. Each company have their own business flow, business rules. 60% or 70% of the standard functionalities provided by SAP might be useful for them, but the additional 30 or 40% they might need enhancements or custom applications where we can do it inside SAP ERP, right? So that additional enhancements or custom applications, who are going to handle that?
ABAP.
ABAP
ABAP.
developers needs to handle that, right?
Yes, sir.
And we have different other functional modules in SAP like sales and distribution, material management, FICO, finance and controlling, plant maintenance. PM means plant maintenance, PP means production planning, WM means warehouse management, PS means project systems. Like we have different modules in SAP. These are all functional modules, right? Every functional
Yes, sir.
module will have one functional consultant. We call them functional consultant. What is the role of functional consultant? To analyze the business and prepare the requirement documents. If there is any enhancements required, if there are any custom applications required, these functional consultants will create those requirement documents and provide it to ABAP developers. These functional consultants will explain the requirement and the logic what we need to, what ABAP developers needs to implement. What is the expected output? What is the expected input? Everything will be provided by functional consultants. Okay. Whatever the module it is, right? The requirement might be related to any module that might be related to sales, finance, HR, right? Once the requirement is document is created, ABAP developer will create or develop those applications. Clear? What is the role of ABAP developer? Implementing the applications and doing some basic testing. What do we call the testing? Unit testing we call it. Okay. The complete testing will be done by a different team, testing team. But as a ABAP developer, we do some basic testing. That is called, what do we call that basic testing? Unit testing. Or in short form, we call it as TUT. What is TUT? Technical unit testing. What is TUT?
Technical
Technical
unit
unit testing.
testing.
This is not specific to SAP. This technical unit testing is common in any other applications also, in any other technology also. Developer will do this basic testing before going to hand over to testing team.
Actual testing.
Okay, clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Now, I'll explain about SAP architecture, or maybe before explaining architecture, we'll see what is OLTP and OLAP. So we discussed about ERP. What are the advantages of using ERP products? What are the advantages of using ERP products? It provides better integration between different departments or different
Different
business
departments.
processes, right? It will reduce the delay, right? It will reduce the delay and it will improve business performance. Okay, it will reduce the turnaround time. It will reduce the turnaround time. Nothing but it will reduce the delay in decision making. Okay, Now, what is OLTP? OLTP means online transaction processing. What is online transaction processing? It is kind of system. It is kind of system, right? What is OLTP or online transaction processing system? Here we create daily transactions, only day-to-day transactions. In OLTP systems, we create only transactions, daily transactions. If you go to the bank, if you go to the bank cashier, he's going to create some transactions, right, daily for every
Yes, sir.
customer. They're going to do some withdrawals. They're going to do some deposits.
Deposits.
They're going to
Yes,
do
sir.
some check clearance. They're going to issue DDs, right? What are all
Yes,
those?
sir.
They're all transactions.
Online.
Transaction.
They're all transactions, daily transactions, right? So whatever the systems that create daily transactions, we call them OLTP systems, right? What do we call those systems? OLTP
OLTP.
systems.
OLTP system.
If you go to some shopping mall or some store, in the billing counter, they are going to use one system, right? What they are going to do using that system? They are going to create bill, right? Yes or no? If you go to some shopping mall, at the counter, billing counter, what they are going to do? They are going to generate bill, right?
Yes, sir.
What is
Yes,
that?
sir.
Every bill is one transaction, right? That is also we called as OLTP system. Whatever the system that generates daily transactions, we call them OLTP systems. Okay. What is OLAP? The abbreviation is online analytical processing.
Analytic.
Analytical processing. What is analysis? Analytical nothing but analysis. To analyzing the data. These kind of systems, OLAP systems, we use for data
Data
analysis.
analysis.
Data analysis. Okay. For example, in a bank, for example, in a bank, branch manager want to find the customer who is doing huge transactions, right? What he needs to do? The customer who is
He's
doing
going to be
highest
analyze the
transaction.
transaction.
The customer
Yes,
who
sir.
is
He is
doing
going.
highest transaction in a particular year. What that branch manager needs to do? He needs to collect all the transactions of that particular customer and he needs to
Analyze the
aggregate it, right?
things.
Aggregate nothing but sum up. Then he'll find the total amount, the total transaction amount, what he did in the current year, so that he can find who is the customer uh, that make highest uh, amount of transactions, correct?
Yes, sir.
For that, what is the input? Transaction records, right? Where the transaction records will be available? In OLTP system, right? Daily customer transactions will be available in OLTP system. But what is the use of OLAP system? For the data analysis, analyzing the data of the customer, right? Maybe his last 5 years data, maybe his last 10 years data, right?
Yes, sir.
For example, if the bank manager wants to find spend analysis nothing but which customer is spending in which area. For example, if you take customer A, he might do more online transactions like in Flipkart or Amazon, right? Customer B might do more transactions in stores, local stores, right? Customer C might spend most of his transactions on some electronic goods, buying some electronic goods in electronic stores, right? So if the bank manager wanted to do that analysis, to find out which customer is spending their amount in which area. What he needs to do? He needs to aggregate transactions of every customer so that he can find the total value, right? But as I said, these transactions are available in OLTP system. But why we are doing this analysis in OLAP in a separate system? Because if you do both creating transactions and analyzing the transactions both in the same system, what will happen? There will be a huge burden on the system. One way, bank clerks are creating withdrawals and deposits. In the other way, bank manager is trying to analyze the data, historical data. In OLAP system, what kind of data we maintain?
Historic data.
Historical data, maybe customers last 5 years, 10 years data. If the bank manager is trying to analyze the historical data of that customer in the same system, OLTP system only, what will happen? There will be a huge burden on the system. For example, you can observe like whenever you open multiple applications in your mobile, what will happen? It will hang, right? Sometimes it will
Yes, sir.
hang and sometimes it will be crashed, right? If there is huge load on your mobile phone when you open lot of applications, right? Which is taking all your RAM. Is that mobile is going to work properly at that time?
No, sir.
No, there is a huge load. So to avoid that issue, if everyone is parallelly accessing the same system, what will happen? There will be a huge impact on the transactional systems where bank cashiers or clerks used to deposits and withdrawals. That should not stop, right?
There might be server issues.
Yeah. To avoid that issues, so we have a separate system that is called OLAP system, online analytical processing system, where we copy all our transactions to OLAP system. When we are going to copy? Every day after the business hours. We copy on the day transactions to OLAP system. And we do analysis in which system? OLAP system.
All app system.
Okay. So every day after business hours, we copy each day transactions to OLAP. Okay. In OLTP, we don't maintain historical data. We maintain only operational data. We call that operational data. Maybe last 2 years or 3 years data, maybe 5 years data. We don't keep historical data in OLTP systems to reduce the load on the system. Okay. What do we do? The old data in OLTP systems. We archive, take backups and delete from the OLTP systems.
OLTP system.
We maintain only operational data in OLTP systems. In OLAP, we maintain
Historic
historical data.
data.
So few examples for OLAP systems are SAP BW. There are other OLAP systems like for Microsoft, they have their own OLAP system, that is MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence. Similarly, every company has their own OLAP systems for data analysis, right? Example for OLTP system, SAP ERP is the OLTP system where we create daily transactions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
For OLAP, we have SAP BW, Business Warehouse, to do the data analysis. Now, if you observe here, so this is the OLTP system. For example, take example of some bank. Bank clerk is going to create some transactions daily. Here what we do? Creating transactions or changing transactions. We may create a new transaction or a new record or change the existing record. Okay. For example, if you are a new customer, is that a create or change?
Create, sir.
Create. If you are an existing customer of the bank and you need to change your phone number, is that a create operation or change operation? If you are an existing customer of the bank and you need to change your phone number, is it a create operation or change operation? Change,
Change.
right? You are changing the existing data, right? So in OLTP, what kind of data we maintain? Operational data or most
Operational
recent
data, sir.
data?
Historical data.
No. In
OLAP
OLAP, we
historical
maintain
data.
historical data. In OLTP, we maintain operational data.
Operational data.
I told you, right? We need to copy daily transactions to which system? OLAP system. When? After business hours. Business hours nothing but after closing the office. Every day, we move all the day transactions to OLAP system.
OLAP system.
By using which one? ETL.
OLTP.
By using ETL. By using ETL, we copy OLTP system data to OLAP system.
OLAP system.
Okay. ETL nothing but extraction, transformation, and
Transformation.
loading. We have a lot of ETL tools, Informatica, data stage. There are a lot of ETL tools available in the market, right? By using any of the ETL tools, we copy OLTP operational data to OLAP.
OLAP.
It will happen on a daily basis. Whatever the transactions created on today will be moved to OLAP after the business hours. Okay, clear? By using some ETL tool. In SAP, we have inbuilt ETL tool in SAP BW that will take care of transferring the data from OLTP to OLAP. Here, OLAP is SAP ERP. What is the OLTP here? SAP ERP is the OLTP. What is OLAP? SAP BW is the
BW.
OLAP, right? For data analysis. Clear? Similarly, we have other products designed by other companies, right? They have their own OLTP and OLAP softwares. Clear? So in OLTP, we do create and change. In OLAP, we don't change any data. We don't delete any data. We just analyze the data. We are not going
Analyze
to
the
do
data.
any changes in OLAP. Okay? Only read the data and analyze the data. We generate some reports, right? Most of the times, top level management of the companies uses OLAP systems. Okay,
OLAP system.
to analyze their business, to check their revenue, right? Clear? So that they can do better decision making by analyzing the data. Okay. For example, if you take any shopping mall, right? If they can do this data analysis, they can improve their business by identifying the products which are having more sale in month of August. What are the products that is having more sales in the month of September? If they can identify that, they can they can purchase that stock and available for the customer, right? If they
Yes,
can do
sir.
that decision making, so that they'll gain more profits, right? For
Yes,
example,
sir.
in these recent days, even this kind of data analysis happening in politics also, right? Different political organizations collecting data from the people, their choices, right? And they are going to analyze the data, and they're implementing some schemes, right, to attract the votes, right? For example, in the state of Andhra Pradesh, they're going to analyze the people. What is that people are expecting, what is the middle class people are expecting. They can do some analysis like based on some income groups. They'll divide people into some income groups up to 10 lakhs income, up to 10 lakhs they'll keep into one category, over 10 lakhs they'll keep into one category, and they'll analyze the data. What is the expectation of the middle class people, what are they expecting from the government, right? So what is the expectation of the poor people, what are they expecting, right? How much revenue it is required to implement those schemes. All those things they're going to analyze, and they're coming with schemes, right? Different welfare schemes, right? So these kind of data analysis will happen in OLAP systems. That can be any product. In SAP, that is SAP BW, but other companies will also use different SAP products. Sorry, different OLAP products. Okay, the process is same in any software. The process is same. OLTP system will create the transactions, will copy the transactions to OLAP using ETL, and data analysis will be happened in the OLAP systems. Okay, clear? Is everyone clear on that?
Yes, sir. Clear.
So I'll talk about one thing: master data and transactional data. Master data and transactional data. What is data? What is data? Data is nothing but some meaningful information. Some meaningful information. Okay. If I go to your college and ask for a particular student data, what does that student data contains? His roll number,
Complete information
yeah, his roll number, his
regarding
name,
that particular
student ID,
cell number
student name, student address,
ID.
maybe his branch, marks, all semesters marks, his aggregate, right? That is called data, right? If you go to the bank,
Attributes, yes, sir. Properties.
if you go to the bank, ask for the customer data. What does that customer data contains? Bank account number, address,
Phone number,
current
address.
balance, his previous transactions. These are the customer data, right? This is called data, some meaningful information. Data is nothing but some meaningful information. Now, what is master data and what is transactional data? Let's take the bank customer example. What is master data? Customer master data. Customer master data
Master data
means
is
customer ID. Wait,
it is standard,
wait, wait.
sir.
Customer ID, customer name, customer address, phone number, email. This is customer master data, which changes very rarely. Master data is nothing but the data which changes very very rarely. Is your bank account number is going to change very frequently?
No,
No.
no, sir.
No, sir.
Are you going to change your name very frequently?
No,
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 sir.
No,
right? Are you
sir.
going to change your address very frequently?
no.
No.
No,
It will
sir.
change, but very rare, right?
Rare.
So this kind of data we called as master
Master.
data.
Master data.
That can be anything. That can be student master data, bank master data, right? Employee master data, right? Product master data. Master data can be anything which changes very rarely. Okay. Now, what is transaction data? Transaction data will update very frequently. For example, take your bank transactions, customer bank customer transactions. They'll change very frequently, right? If you do 10 withdrawals today, your bank balance will change, right? For every transaction,
Yes, sir.
right?
It's a day-to-day performance.
Yeah, this changes very frequently. Transactional data will change very frequently. For example, petrol prices, diesel prices, right? Or any product prices. They'll change very frequently, right? These are all called transactional transactions.
Transactional data.
If you go to the shopping mall, first time, when you go to the shopping mall for the first time, they'll create your master record, customer master record. They'll take your phone number, name, maybe some email address, and they'll create your customer master record in their system, right? And every transaction and every purchase you do in that shopping mall will be linked to your customer master record for your customer ID, right? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Next time when you go to the shopping, they'll create one more transaction on your customer ID, which is already available, right? Similarly, if you take bank example, first time when you go to the bank, you need to open your account by providing all your master data, and they'll create the account. When you do the transaction, the transaction is linked to your account number, right?
Yes, sir.
Without master data, can you do any transactions?
No, sir.
No. For transactions, master data is mandatory,
Mandatory.
right? So it is common in any software application, not only SAP, but in SAP also, we follow this master data and transaction data, right? That can be customer master data, vendor master data, employee master data, material master data. Master data can be anything, which changes very rarely. Okay, clear?
Clear, sir.
Yeah, I'll stop here for today. Tomorrow we'll go more detailed on SAP architecture and different SAP ABAP statements and data types. What are the data types in SAP ABAP and how we are going to start working on SAP ABAP? We'll learn in the next session. Okay, but these are very basics which you need to understand before going to learn SAP ABAP. Okay, as I said in the previous session, SAP ABAP is not as complex as some Java or any other programming language. It is simple like Python, right? But you need to do regular practice. That is only necessary thing here. And we are going to learn all the basics which we need to work in the projects. Not only basics, advanced topics also. Okay. And practice is very important. Okay.
Okay, sir.